Hey Shavish, how you doing, girl? Hey, thank you for liking the live. Hey everybody, how y'all doing tonight? Heck yeah, I don't think people gonna be up right now. It's 12:54 on a Saturday. Absolutely. We'll see though. But how are you this evening or this morning? I don't know. Would it be this morning? Yeah, because it's 12:54. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Make sure you guys are liking the live. What you eating on, Chevish? Yeah, your work, right? Exactly. Yeah, I feel that, girl. People that work third shift are strong, man. Y'all got some. Ooh, third shift is no joke. Oven pizza? Okay. Not too bad. Yeah, I've been up on my threads like I've been on my threads like all night. Not all night, but been posting like crazy. I really like threads, honestly. Yeah, it goes by fast. Yeah, like at what point do you be like, okay, I got a few more hours left? Is it like 4 a.m., 5 a.m.? Yeah, I see you get more interaction than you would on Twitter. Yeah. Yeah, you do. It's like an astrology party over there. Like I love it. It's the last thing that we have that's not like really been to me tainted. Like yeah, they got their filters and stuff, but it's not as strict. You know? Hey y'all. So yeah, I vibe with Threads real bad. I wish I could go live on Threads, man. I need to get my Twitch going again though. That's another thing I've been trying to do. But I wish that Threads had like a live feature. It would be so dope. I'm actually about to download Twitch right now. Let me see. They said apparently that Threads used to like actually pay people for content, but they stopped. I was like, darn it. I'm always late to the party. Have you been on Twitch, Javish? Like, what's the vibe like on Twitch? Oh wow, they probably only did it to get people over there. I promise they probably did, because that's when everybody was paying everybody. Like, but I feel like ever since like all these platforms have switched over, they're not paying out anymore. They even talking about like TikTok stop paying creators. Like, it used to be a time with TikTok, like you could get rich off TikTok. Like two years ago, a year ago, you could get rich off TikTok. Now, yeah, right. They don't even push out views anymore. You don't really care for it. Yeah. But I think TikTok they stopped paying people like creators. Hey Danny, what's up, love? So yeah, I don't know. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Threads though. If you already following me on Threads, great. But if you ain't following me on Threads, follow me on there. I promise y'all gonna love the content. It's a lot more raw. You're in Jamaica. Okay. That's what's up. Oh, it's for your grandma's funeral. Oh, dang. Oh, my condolences. I'm thinking you went there for a vacation. I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences to you and your family, Danny. Is the funeral, was it today or is it tomorrow? Yeah, the list is open. I just got on here. I ain't been on long at all. You're welcome. Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay. TikTok stop paying. Yeah. They stop paying the creators. Like, it's really like, because I was starting to try to get on TikTok to like start my content there. But honestly, like once I seen that, I'm like, I ain't finna do all of this work. I ain't finna do all this work. Yeah. Can I ask my questions for this upcoming week? You talking about your my question, Shavish? Yeah, I think you got like a mod general left, and I think you got like, I don't know, hold on. I think you got a mod general you can use. But yeah, Danny, you can go ahead whenever you're ready. I write when I wanted to hop on. I remember when I wanted to hop on. Wait, huh? What I was trying to say was, Chevish, I don't know if you used both of your mod questions for this week. I know you used one like I want to say yesterday. No, Wednesday. TikTok. Oh, you used one. Okay, so you should have another one. Yep. Hold on 1 second, but go ahead. Y'all post your stuff. Hold on 1 second though, okay? I gotta go check on my little one. Hold on. I'm still here, y'all. Y'all go ahead and post y'all questions. I'm just making her a bottle real quick. Hang tight. All right, y'all. I'm back. Hang tight. Real quick. Let me get her in the seat. All right, I'm back, ladies. All right. Okay. Thank you, Danny. You said I remember I used one. Yeah. So Shevish, if you got a mod question, you can use that. You can use that mod question. Because I said I don't remember using. I don't remember you using that one like the other one you had. Okay. Let me see. If me and Kaylin decided to reconnect, or just talk again how things go develop between us. Okay. All right, Danny, you can go ahead and post your questions. Shervish, I got you after Danny. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Make sure y'all like the live as y'all coming in, please and thank you. What will my grandma think of my speech at her service tomorrow? Oh, wow, that's a beautiful question to ask, Danny. But I got you. Let's see. What will Danny's grandmother think of her speech tomorrow? What would Danny's grandmother think of her speech tomorrow? Man, so your grandmother's energy is coming in like she viewing you as like she taught you well with the wisdom card. You know what I mean? Like she gonna look at the speech as like well thought out. Um and also that like she feels like she could rest. You know what I'm saying? It's kinda like when you you're an elder or whatever and you want your lineage to, you know what I'm saying, fulfill what you desire for your bloodline. So I feel like she's gonna feel like that you have a lot of wisdom. She's gonna feel like she taught you well, and then she handed down a lot of that wisdom to you. You know, um, so I see it. I see her looking at it like it was just something that was very deeply felt. The solitude card is here. She could tell you took your time. She could tell you took your time, like you wasn't just. And I mean, who wouldn't take their time writing a speech when they, you know, grandparents pass away? But she could tell like you took a lot of thought and effort into this speech. Like it wasn't just something where you just like, you know, saying some very surface level stuff. Like you really got deep, you know. And then also here with the accelerated motion, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, I feel like your speech is just going to kind of like help people to think of her in the brightest light, you know? And I feel like that's going to help her to, again, not only rest, but also like it's going to free her spirit, because she's going to feel like that, you know, the speech you left, and just everybody how they remember her. It's like that's what she wanted. She wanted everybody to remember her in this light. She wanted people to remember the things that she did, you know. I didn't know what to write, but as I listened to her last voice message to me, it's like she guided me on. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like she could just, she feels like it came from a very heartfelt place. She told me soar like an eagle, and in the Bible it says soar like an eagle and find comfort in the Lord. Yeah, and that's why I say I feel like her soul will be able to rest. And then like I also feel like, so some people say sometimes loved ones will kind of like stick around, you know, their spirit will stick around until like, you know, they feel like the job is done on earth. But like I said, I feel like she gonna feel like her job was well done on earth. And I see her being able to fully cross over. When I was crying, she led me to scripture to comfort me. I love it. I love that. Because like I said, that solitude card come out, and that also can just talk about like you going into a private area or a private part of your heart, and you just like sitting with that. You sitting with whatever feelings you have, whatever thoughts you have, and it's like when you wrote those words on that paper, you know, that came from a very deep place. You know, 111. There you go. That's a sign, yeah. So I feel like at the end of the day, like your grandmother is gonna be very pleased with you. You may even feel like she's hugging you when you saying your speech. Like you just gonna feel like this warmth, or you might even like smell her fragrance, or see like, you know what I'm saying, like see like a bird that she used to love. Just something, a signal of her showing you like that she appreciated it. You know what I mean? So definitely be looking for the signs. Um, you know, as you guys are, you know, getting ready to lay her to rest. Okay. So that's what I got as far as your grandmother, how she's gonna feel about your speech. But I heard job well done, you know. So you did really good. Hey Ari, how you doing? All right. Danny, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and drop your next question. Make sure you guys are liking this live if you don't mind, please. What karma does my grandpa have coming his way? Ooh. What did grandpa do? You think he has something to do with your grandmother's demise? What karma does Danny's grandfather have coming his way? You think he made her have he dug her early grave? That's what they say. Be trying to move a girl and her kid in your grandma's house? What? That's freaking crazy. She not in the grave yet. Right. Like, dang. All right. So let's see. Well, first of all, you got that patience and planning coming out. And I'm going to say this. At the end of the day, he had this in the works. You know what I'm saying? This was obviously something premeditated. He knew your granny was passing away. I don't know if she was in hospice or, you know, what she was, her last weeks of life or months of life, what that looked like. But it just seems that obviously he had premeditated intentions. Definitely was dealing with somebody while she was sick. I feel like that his karma is gonna be basically like either he not going to be able to capitalize off of some money, or he might struggle with keeping that home, because that Five of Pentacles card can signify poverty or instability with money, or maybe he gets money and he just blows it on this new girl, and then he look around and he ain't got nothing else to live for. He don't got nothing else to his name. The hospital and her and the grandkids. Exactly. Maybe that's what it is too. Maybe the grandkids decide no, he can't stay there. Whatever it is, like, he definitely finna go through some type of hardship when it comes to stability. See? That's why I said I see hardship when it comes to his stability. And like I said, even if he was to get some money from, sometimes people have inheritance, wills, or whatever. Even if he was to get some money, I just see like him being foolish. You know what I'm saying? I see him being foolish and basically using that money to take care of that girl. It could be anything like that, but at the end of the day, because of his intentions, I just see that well running dry real fast. The Nine of Pentacles is here too. That's why I said something about money. Like, he might think he doing a big one right now. This man probably like, yeah, I can go ahead and spend this money, do what I want to do with it. I ain't got to worry about your grandmother. He ain't got to worry about your granny no more. But it's like your grandma is still very active and well in the spiritual realm, and she gonna make sure he pay for that. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, his karma is gonna come from instability with finances, or like I said, giving him this thing where he kind of in his ego, so he think he could just splurge and spend that money on that girl, and I feel like it ain't gonna play out in his favor. I see her really just taking him for what it is, like she taking him for a ride, and I just see him not having anything left, you know. Yeah, I feel it. I feel that. But yeah, at the end of the day, he wrong. He wrong for that. But yeah, like I said, five of Pentacles. So instability, lack of foresight, really, when it comes to planning for the long term. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for your grandfather. That's horrible. But they do say that a lot of men, like when people die and like older women pass away or they be sick, the nurses be saying like a lot of men be having like side families. They be having side chicks. They be already moved on before the woman take her last breath. That's why they be saying like, don't y'all dare give to a man. Don't give him too many years of your life, because they said them men be sometimes when a woman dying, they'll come up to visit with the woman that they dealing with. It's sick, y'all. Thank you, Danny, for your donation. It's sick for real. But yeah, Danny, that's what I'm getting for the most part. Like, yeah, he gonna pay. He gonna pay. Bless you. Bless you. You okay? All right. He brought the lady and her child to the family gathering. What the heck? See, that's bogus. What your people have to say about it? I know they had something to say, man. I know they was hot about that. That's crazy. He brought the lady to the family gathering. We just looked and gossiped. That's wow. How old is the kid? And then y'all hold on. I'm burping her real quick. She just had a bottle, y'all. Hey. Yeah, I can't believe this baby 3 months. That's so crazy. Time flying, y'all. She getting so big. 13. That's wow. So I wonder what's his intentions. He plan on marrying this woman, because she obviously got to be younger than him. She got a 13-year-old, probably like in her 30s, mid 30s. That's freaking crazy. Dang, and he bold. He is bold for real. How you doing for your side chick's daughter, but not me or my sister? Right? That's freaking crazy. But that's what the men be doing. Like they rather take care of a stranger than to take care of their own. Not and it don't matter if it's grandpa, father. Like it's sick. That's sick. He gotta feel like a superhero for somebody though. You know what I'm saying? Because he know he wrong. So he got to make somebody think he a superhero. How would my grandpa feel if I told him about himself before I leave Jamaica? Ooh, and you know y'all Jamaicans, y'all can curse. Y'all can curse for real. Okay, I got you, Danny. Give me like a few moments. Let me burp her real quick and then I'll answer your question, okay? Few moments. I'll be right back. All right, Danny, I'm back. So you want to know how he gonna feel if you was to curse him out or go off on him? Tell him about himself before you leave Jamaica. Okay, let's see. So, how would Danny's grandfather feel if she told him about himself before she leaves Jamaica? How would he feel? Let's see, how would he feel? Danny's grandfather. Hmm. He not gonna really take accountability because he feel like y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. You know what I mean? You got the solitude, which basically can kind of talk about like somebody that's choosing not to remain humble. He is very proud, very boastful of this woman, and you may not even recognize really like okay, you knew what he was capable of, you know, but it's like when it comes down to how he feel, you may not even recognize, you know, your grandfather. He may even act like how can I say this? Like, no, there's no humility. There's just a very much boastful energy. So, and he gonna be like thinking you out of place anyway for stepping to him with your truth. He may feel like you out of place. So he may try to like basically not take accountability. But I feel like honestly, your words is gonna sting. Your words will sting for real. He may not admit that at that time because he proud, he boastful. But whatever you say, it's gonna be something that he have to, like, in the middle of the night, it's gonna be in his thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see him being able to just turn a blind eye to what you said, but he is going to try to not be accountable. He really honestly feels like he was within his right to move on. He don't think that he was being a narcissist. He don't think that he was being shady to your grandmother. Maybe he feels like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he came up with his own idea of like, she's sick, she would want me to be happy. She's sick, she would want me to move on. She wouldn't want me miserable and crying over her. So maybe that's what he told himself to give himself a pass to be able to move on. You know? It's messed up. That's why I said you may not be able to really shake or waver him when you tell him. He's gonna come off very much so standing on business, standing on it. You know? That's crazy. But some people do that though. I'm telling you. That's why I said she might go ahead and drain him for all his resources for real. She might. I'm just saying. You come into a woman's life flashing money that you don't really have. You setting that tone. So of course he got to keep up with the facade. Of course he got to keep spending money on her and paying all her bills. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna backfire in the long run. Let him be proud. Let him be boastful. Let him be prideful. That's what I wanted to say. He's prideful. That was the word that I was looking for. But let him go ahead and do that. It's gonna backfire. Like I said, that girl gonna drain him for all his resources. Yep. That's messed up. What would happen if you said something to the side chick? Let's see. What would happen if Danny said something to the side chick? What would happen if Danny said something to the side chick? She ain't gonna say nothing. She ain't gonna say nothing. Because she knows at the end of the day, this is wrong. I don't care how your grandfather painted that picture. She knows she was wrong to partake in this situation with your grandfather. So I see her not really having a leg to stand on. Right, she better sit in the back. She don't really got no leg to stand on. So I see her not really being able to speak up. She might just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Hide behind your grandfather. Yeah, she shouldn't be there. Why are you there? You know what I mean? Unless you're trying to get beat up. But I just see her not having nothing to say. So if anything, you're going to be like, this bitch ain't even worth it. She ain't even worth my words. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, at the end of the day, any woman that builds, I don't care if your granny was sick or not, any woman that builds her empire off of another woman's tears will also witness the fall of her empire. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, right is right, wrong is wrong. You know? Now, if it was a situation when your grandfather really did love your grandmother all the way through and she passed away and he kind of, he had moments to heal and kind of get himself together, then he moved on, that would be more well received than this. But, people do what they want to do. They do what they want to do. Yes, Ari, you can answer my question. Make sure y'all like my live, please. Okay, Danny. Danny, while you type in, I'm going to go get her some gripe water. She got hiccups. But y'all hang tight. I'm still here. I'm going to turn the music up so y'all know I'm on the chat. All right. But Danny, go ahead and type your question whenever you're ready. Men be seeking attention so much. Who would have thought that men could be such a attention? I'm saying not all men, but yeah. I can ask my question later. LOL. Just post your question in the chat, Shavish. I'm doing donation based questions first, then I got mods. Unless you already sent a donation for your question. They will hop on any opportunity to get an ego boost, even if they hurt the person that wasn't really interested in the person. Right. Exactly. It's all like centered around being selfish. Okay, Ari. What's up, Dev? How you doing? No, all men really do value attention unless I'm telling you. I was just saying how like so I have a friend that kind of worked in hospice. Y'all know hospice is, right? It's like where people go when they kind of in their last weeks, days of life, whatever. Anyway, she would tell me that like it would be women in there that had been married to these men for like years, like 20, 30 years, you know? And she was saying that like when the women would go into hospice and they would be sick, like the men would be already moved on. They will already have another person. And sometimes they would show up to the person that was dying, they would show up to the hospice with the person that they with. Just bold. And it just like opened her eye up so much to like men and how they treat women. If a woman die first, you know what I'm saying, that man, he moves on. But it's such a difference between if a man dies. If a man dies, that woman, she will like be heartbroken for years. I know like plenty of people who grandparents or whatever, they die, like the grandfather dies first and the grandmother refuses to move on, you know? Um, so it's just so crazy how that dynamic is. Okay, Danny, you can go ahead and post your question. You know, they are selfish. We can agree to disagree. When a man naturally gets a lot of attention from others, he won't care that much about getting attention nor try to seek it. Men who naturally get a lot of attention will usually not actively seek it or care for it. She said, Danny or Deb was agreeing with you, Ari. What you mean? She was saying the exact same thing you said. No, she was agreeing with you, love. All right, Danny, whenever you're ready, I got you, love. Where'd Shavish go? Now she bounced on my live. Hold on. She said right, I was agreeing. Oh, y'all, make sure y'all follow me on Threads, y'all. Y'all gonna love it. See, I feel like Threads is so much more engagement. Threads be giving like Twitter before Twitter got taken over. Like I love Threads. I want y'all to follow me on there. Y'all gonna love my content. It's all like collective messages, you know, stuff that y'all probably want to see. Um, I'm gonna share my link and y'all just follow me on Threads. I'm trying to at least get to like 100 people so that way I can kind of get, I guess, more views. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, tarot readers be on Threads. It's a huge community of tarot readers, astrologists. Everybody be on there. That's why I've been on Threads more than TikTok. Thank you, Danny. Yeah, whenever you're ready, I got you. Okay. Yeah, Deb, you gotta check out Threads. It's legit. Like for real, I really love it. You know, and I don't say that often about these apps, but like I said, Threads remind me of Twitter, like the old Twitter. But my question is, with these two guys, Sam, Pisces, and Cole Sag, actually interested at all, or was it just all game to both of them? Even though both talking stages weren't that long. All right. I asked about the guys that hurt me to get clarity and help me to get closure that I'm wanting. Oh, okay. I got you. I remember that the Check song. Hey, Danny, I remember you have music, right? Oh, Danny, Dad was talking about your music. She said, yes, Dad. But yeah, I got my questions are after donation. So I got you, Ari. You don't have one for your business, but your personal gets unwanted views. I think I asked you about that before. Yeah, the talking stage with Cole was slightly longer. I got you. Ooh, what's the connection between my family and the Marley family? Okay. So is this something you've heard down the grapevine, or you know for a fact that like yo great grandparents was connected to Bob Marley's people, you know? Oh, really? You went to Bob Marley house and your mom went to school with his kids? All right, so what's the connection between Danny's family and the Marley family? You ran into three of his grandchildren in New York City? Wow, that's so freaking crazy. On Threads, they tell you how many views you get. You say you find it unsettling. Mm. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like when it comes to Bob or the Marleys, I'll just say Marleys. When it comes to the Marleys and your family, I feel like that y'all may have come around each other when it was hard times. So like let's just say uh so you know Bob Marley, he was around in what the 70s. Like he wasn't around it. He probably did he die in the 70s or the 80s, y'all help me out. Anyway, he was around that 70s time. I remember that. And probably your family and the Marley family was always able to come together and collaborate and to help each other. Um, so it was always like I don't know if y'all call it villages in Jamaica or what y'all call it, but like it's just like a good neighbor, a good friend. You know what I'm saying? And if they needed something, if the Marley family needed something, your family was there to help out. This is before the fame, you know. But if your family needed something, the Marley family was there to help out. Like I said, just good neighbors, parishes. Okay. But like I said, a lot of it steered around y'all being able to connect and collaborate during hard times, during hardship. Okay. So there's definitely some type of bond that y'all have with the Marley family. Okay. But like I said, I feel like this is two men that started this. So let's just say you know, your great grandparents or the Marleys, you know, 20, 40 years ago, you know, like they started a friendship or they started a bond that way. All right. Then also here, we also have the Six of Wands. So I feel like that the significance of this connection is there's always good fortune that comes from this. So like, you know, with y'all knowing the Marleys or being associated with them, if there's like, you know, like if there's somebody that wants help with, you know, getting connections with people that can help them like elevate themselves, I feel like they have resources and they have connections to people like that. So it's like that's kind of like the way of this family giving back to your family through like fame and fortune. So that's why I said like in the past it could have been where your family helped them in hard times. And so now, oh, okay. And so now it's like they are able to pass the torch to your family. If they need some, or if somebody needs some connections, maybe they trying to start their music career or something like that. They have connections. Now you probably want to know if you guys are related. Is this family related to the Marley family? Are they related by blood or anything? You said you don't know why. I feel like I gotta do something with them in a way. You probably do. Like I said, I seen the Six of Wands, which is that fame and fortune card. So that's possible. You may want to try to collab with one of them if they're musically inclined in that family still, which I'm sure they are. that would be a great networking opportunity because, like I said, that's kind of their way of giving back to your family because of some lineage type stuff going on. Now, you got here, as far as like if y'all are related, possibly, but it's gonna be a lot of work to try to get the way back. Okay, y'all definitely could possibly have ties to them because like on this card it do look like lineage. It's like lines. Like you know how you will look at your hand and your hand have lines, and that can kind of tell you like it can kind of tell you your karmic destinies or like your lifelines. I feel like y'all do have some type of relation to them, but it will take a lot of work. It would take a lot of work. Like y'all would have to go way back. It's not somewhere it's like 3 generations back. Y'all might have to go back like 6 generations to find it out. But yes, there's a possible relation. And I think honestly that's probably why y'all keep coming back around to each other in different lifetimes because y'all family and y'all were family. Y'all were family in previous lives. So that absolutely makes sense. So I feel like Danny, if you can, if you feel inclined to talk to them and connect on a deeper type of level this time around, maybe y'all can come together and try to figure that out because I do see some lineage there, but it could come from like dang near. Now I don't understand. I don't know Jamaica's like history, but if there was times where people had to migrate to Jamaica from other countries, that could be what I'm picking up on. Do you get what I'm saying? Um, that's why I say y'all would really have to do y'all research. Maybe shoot your grandmother knew some stuff too. Like I don't know if you asked her anything before she got real sick. What would happen if I did music with one of the Bob's grandsons? What would happen if Danny did music with one of Bob's grandsons? What would happen? What would happen if she did music with one of Bob's grandsons? Danny. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like it would definitely help you. It would definitely help you to get your footing. When it comes to this music thing. Cause I feel like you might have moments where you really want to do music, but you may have a struggle with figuring out who to collab with or like who to drop your music with. Like, cause you need somebody that's gonna be able to like basically help to push your music. So I feel like it would definitely help you. And it will also kind of help you get more comfortable with singing or using, you know what I'm saying, your talent. I think that if you was able to work with them, it would definitely help push your career in the right direction. And then, you know, we kind of in a time where a lot of like artists have multiple nationalities, multiple like they just come from different places. So this is definitely the time where you would be more welcome with the culture. I don't know like what Jamaican music and American music, like how, like what's the word for that? But what I'm saying is this is a time to open that doorway even more. You know, I know it's a lot of different artists that's trying to cross over, but I think it'll be well received. Yeah, and I would say so. Like a crossover, yeah, I would say so, Danny. I would say go for it. You got an opportunity that most people never will ever have in their lifetime. First of all, you have connections to a legend's lineage. And then on top of that, you out there right now and it's on your mind. So obviously that's probably a sign, you know? So yeah, I would say it would go great. And then you will already kind of like I said, it would erase that fear of like kind of like that fear of like not really knowing what direction to step in, you know? So yeah, I would say go for it, Danny. Okay. That's awesome. That's dope. That's cool though. I love that. I love that for you so much, Danny. I really do. So that's what I got for you, love. Okay. Let me see. Shevish is next, right? Shevish, go ahead and drop your mod question that you wanted to use. Ari, you're after Shevish. You welcome, love. Thank you for your donations this evening as well. I appreciate it. Shevish, whenever you're ready, I got you. Thank you. Appreciate it, Shevish. What's wrong, girl? What you mean? I'm sending for a question, man. All right, Deb. Thank you. I have posted it, but it's all the way up. Oh, you good? I'll find it. Yeah, I'll find it. It's not a big deal. You asked about that friend, didn't you? All right, hold on. Let me see what it says. You want to know about this your friend? Let me see. Kaylon? Kaylon? So Shevish and Kaylon decided to reconnect or just talk again. How are things going to develop between the two? How are things going to develop between Shevish and Kaylon? I mean, I think it would obviously be like a victorious moment between you and this Kaylon person. Now, at the end of the day, I think y'all definitely have kind of life has taken y'all in different directions, And I feel like at the end of the day, when y'all reconnect with each other, it may not ever really fully go back to what it was before. Like, I don't know if y'all were like super close or if y'all was just like kind of close, but I do feel like that, you guys, it may not be as tight as it was. However, like um I feel like at the end of the day though, you guys will try. Y'all will try to like reestablish this connection as friends. I just don't see it being as close as it used to be. Okay. If it was real close. Um, hold on. Go up just a little bit. So as far as like developing, like I said, I feel like it may just only go so far. Not to say like that y'all will fall out again, but y'all may just kind of realize like y'all just on two different paths, and that's cool. That's okay. That's just kind of what I feel. But I will say this. Let me see some. Tell me more about the choose wisely card here. I will say this. Y'all will gain a new respect for each other. Cause I feel like maybe in the past, you guys like hadn't really gone through the growth. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long it's been since you talked to this girl. However, like you may be able to kind of respect where she's at in her life and she'll respect where you at in your life. You know what I'm saying? So that's like if you tell her like, yeah, I'm working right now and I'm planning to go back to school, da 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 da. She gonna be like, okay, that's good. Like, you know what I'm saying? She happy for you that you're doing good in life and that making something of yourself. And then you might feel the same way about her. you know? And maybe like in the past, you guys probably were still trying to figure yourselves out. You didn't really know what you wanted for your career, what you wanted for life. Y'all was just really just getting y'all feet wet, with life. But she may just kind of be proud that you finding yourself, and you may be proud that she finding herself. And even if she had really poor personality traits in the past, like I just see you being like, you could tell she's grown. There's growth there, you know? So I feel like at the end of the day, like even if y'all decide, like I said, to not be that close, y'all still gonna be cool. She may just kind of be a friend you might hit up every once in a while, after y'all reconnect and be like, hey girl, just checking in on you. But like I said, I don't see it being like bestie, because y'all two are going in two different directions. That's really all I see. That's probably why she live in a different state. That's probably why then. Because like I said, I ain't see y'all being like, oh, let's link every weekend. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like I said, you guys, it will be refreshing. It will be refreshing. I'll just say that. And it be like that sometimes. Sometimes you do revisit friendships. It don't mean that y'all gotta be super close, but sometimes it's just meant for you and that person to kind of hash whatever was going on in the past. You know? That's fine, Ari. If you want to text me, that's cool too. Yeah, get some rest. Doesn't really sound worth it. I mean, not if you're trying to look for a best friend, cause she can't be your best friend. But if you just look and be like, hey, just wanted to rehash it, whatever, like you just want closure, then yeah, you know. And maybe y'all could hang out in the future. You never know how like connections now could help you in your future. So I wouldn't say it's not worth it. I mean, if you feeling led to reach out to the girl, there's probably a reason. I wouldn't throw it in the back seat just because it don't sound like what you want it to sound like right now. Like I said, you still young. You don't know how y'all gonna help each other in the future. Um, so just kind of be mindful of that too. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, Ari, if you still hanging on, I'll answer your question real quick. But if you want to wait, you want to go lay down, that's fine. I'll just hit you up on Instagram. Okay. Okay, to what? Instagram or right now? Because I'm actually on you. So I'm trying to see what you want. Good night. Okay, cool. All right. All right. Thank you, Shevish. Posting my information. All right, Deb, it looks like you're next. Whenever you're ready, okay? I can't believe I've been on here for an hour already. Time be flying. Time is going way too fast. Anybody else have any other questions? I'll probably be on live for about probably 15 more minutes, and I'm gonna get off. Chevish, how's work going for you tonight? You must got some good people that live in them residential homes, because you don't never talk nothing crazy about them. That's because they be sleep, huh? I honestly don't think I'm meant to have close friendships at this point in my life and move forward. People be wanting outside friends and surface level people they can just hit up when it's beneficial. I mean, well, I'm trying to think what placement would show how our friendships develop. Hold on. I wonder if it's your 12th house. Hold on, let me see something, Shavish. Depending on where hold on, let me see where house it is. I want to say it's your 12th house. 11th house. Okay, I was a house off. So you need to look at where your 11th house is for your friends, your friendships. Because if you have Saturn in that 11th house, that could put restrictions. That could put restrictions on friendships, or you may not be able to have friends come in your life that are long term right away. So that's really the only explanation of your friendships, because Geminis are really social people. Uh, so like I said, it could be something in your 11th house that's causing that type of dynamic with friends. She said, "Yeah, they chill. Not too many crazy instances be happening." Yeah, that's what I said. They supposed to be asleep or something. All right, Deb said, the reader that was offended and being a mean girl said, I'm out of touch in love because I said I think realistically and don't see love as the main focus for this year. She said I was out of touch and bitter. What? How is somebody out of touch and bitter? All right, what's this chick's deal for real? Like, what's up with her? Who says that? Everybody's entitled to their own personal opinion. That don't mean you bitter. So I want to know how I'm out of touch when I'm intuitive, discerning, and people always tell me I'm intuitive. That's crazy. Why would she tell you that? Deb is trying to understand how is she out of touch with love. Like, what does that reader mean by that? She just seemed mean, like a mean spirited person. She ain't like she ain't even really being on there being uh somebody of wisdom. She just talking and being messy. That's why I said everybody ain't meant to be a tarot reader. I don't care how good you are with cards. Everybody does not have the divination to be a tarot reader. That's why y'all gotta be careful. Because some people really just they just doing them cards. Ain't got no business guiding people. All right. No, she gave me a general for January. I said I thought I would get more career related messages than I love, and I kind of rubbed her the wrong way. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you entitled to, like, if it didn't resonate, it don't resonate. How's she gonna get offended by that? Just because a reader tell you something, that don't mean you gotta go by law what they say. Like, that's your own discernment. That's just a guider. If you don't want to focus on love, then you don't got to focus on love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. Okay, she did. That's what I'm saying. All right. So what she meant by that is basically she feels like, hmm, she could feel like when it comes to love, she may be picking up like you could be kind of like being in, mm, you could be kind of being impatient with the results that you want. So she could be saying that like, yeah, I see love for you, but you gotta, you gotta work with this person, or you gotta be more patient with this person. Like, I don't know what her reading was saying, but I see her kind of going off of the notion that like you are kind of impatient with what you're wanting out of love. Okay. Then you got the recognition and reward. Okay. That card, it can signify, you know, definitely what you want right now. You want success. But she may have taken it as like, well, when it comes to love, you just got to work with this person or work with this energy and you're going to have what you want. So it's like she almost was kind of pushing the envelope when it came to making it seem like that you're not giving enough time and thought into your love life. That's just kind of like where she was going with it. She said it was newer energy coming and I needed to be more open. That's not how she worded it. Right. She probably worded it worse than what I'm saying. But like I said, I think like she was trying to come in as a pillar of hope. She was trying. I don't think her intentions at first were to rub you the wrong way with what she was saying. However, the reader got to work on not taking things personal. If somebody tell you they're not resonating with that message, you have to respect that. Because some people really ain't resonating with the message. She might be pulling on something that, yeah, it could be something that comes across your mind, but your heart not fully ready for that, So she has to be open to people's feedback on her readings. But like I said, I don't think she was trying to be malicious. I think I think she has to just learn how to separate her emotions. Not separate her emotions like be cold hearted, but separate her emotions like always feeling triggered. Because you can't do this job and be triggered. You got to understand that people gonna have a perspective. You're not out of touch. You're not out of touch at all. I think that when she was saying that, she was kind of misreading the energy. That's why she said, "Oh, you're out of touch. You're going to be out of touch. You're not out of touch. You're very much so in tune with what you want for yourself." So love right now, it just wasn't probably meant to be elaborated on. Like she might have seen a quick little card that signified a relationship or a connection, but that wasn't the full focus. So it's like I don't necessarily believe that meant that you were out of touch. Again, I think that she saw something and she ran with it. That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think. She saw something, she ran with it. But I would just say whoever she is, she probably just needs to kind of take a step back and just really see if this is something her spirit guides want her doing, you know? Because you got to be able to take that criticism and you got to know what you're talking about in the cards. Just because you see a two of cups at the beginning of somebody's stuff, that could mean anything. That could mean you falling in love with yourself. It don't always mean a relationship. So she got to be more discerning with the cards. It was several happy relationship cards. I wasn't trying to be a pessimistic. I just was surprised it had nothing to do with career. Right. And that's why I split my messages up. And maybe that's something she needs to do. Maybe she needs to do it to where it's like love messages or like general questions. Because that can kind of help her to stay focused on what you're asking. Versus her just flipping cards and giving you whatever she sees. So maybe that's something that she should do. That way it's no room for confusion. She a good reader. I guess she too personal. Yeah. And that's all I'm saying. Sometimes people just get a little too personal. But I don't think you're out of touch with love. I just think right now that's just not what you want to focus on, and that's okay. That's okay. Hey JD, how you doing? How is work going? How do you like CVS? You said what's going on? I'm just chilling with y'all. I understand having boundaries, but me asking her to follow up a question should not have triggered her like that. It shouldn't. As I said, she got to work on her triggering, like her triggers. Like at the end of the day, you're going to have people coming to you, asking you tons of questions, and you may not always want to answer people's tons of questions, but it's like you can't take that out on them. This is what you decided to do. You said it's bad already. What's going on? Why is it bad? Is it the customers? I ain't gonna lie. When I be going to CVS be backed up, man. Like the pharmacists, they be stressed out. They be like legit stressed out. I didn't get my correct hours. Is this going to be a problem or just due to training? That's my question. Okay, I got you. There's no training. What? Oh, so they just threw you to the wolves. They said, "Oh, you got it." They probably ain't got time to train nobody because they swamped. I remember a time when like you used to be able to go into CVS, get your prescription, and go about your day. Now it's like crazy. They be having like people lined up for 10 minutes at a time. She said I couldn't be a reader for that reason. I'm sensitive. That's why I says, it's not for everybody. Being a reader is hard. It's hard. And it is a craft, it is a skill. That's why I do believe in like, people that's really meant to be readers, they should be able to create a business off of it. I just don't like the gimmicky readers though. Like that's why I don't even do like readings on TikTok and stuff. I stay away from it because there's too many gimmicky readers on there. And when you're a reader, you know a real reader when you see one. And there's so many people that do it as a hobby, so it make it look bad. It really do. It make it look so bad. But I feel you. Everyone doing good? Of course. Everybody doing good. Yeah. I went to I took my daughter to a birthday party. It was so cute just seeing her with her little friends. They like in the tween age. So it was cute. Just being tweenagers. Can you clarify me for me? Okay, yep, I got you. I know that's not my niche, even though my calling is to help counsel. Exactly. And everybody got their different avenues of helping and counseling people. Um, it just depends on whatever the universe wants you to do. You know, I would say too. Also, look at your what would be career? Is that the ninth house? I think that's the ninth house. I want to say, good job, Chevish. You said your 11th house is in Pisces. Let me see something. Oh, Chevish, I just got insight on you. Why you may feel the way you feel with friendships. I'm gonna have to screenshot this to you, Chevis. Tween stage kid. Ain't it cute? It is so adorable. I just love it. And I just sat back, you know what I'm saying? I just let her do her. I try not to like interrupt or anything. Like I just was obviously being her chaperone, because she definitely ain't going to nowhere by herself. But it was cute just seeing them all hang out. I love that for my daughter. Yes, I'm already stressed because they don't have nothing planned or organized on my start date. Yikes. Okay. I got you, JD. I'm gonna look into it. Um, Let me screenshot this to Shavish. But yeah, Deb, I was gonna say, yeah, usually I think it's your ninth house tells you what you're supposed to be doing for career. So that's why I know my ninth house is in Jupiter, or ninth house is in Virgo. So I am supposed to be more so helping people spiritually. That's just, that's in my birth chart. So yeah, everybody got different things they're supposed to be doing right now. All right, so I'm gonna screenshot all of this to Shavish. Of course, you're welcome, Deb. Shavish, I'm gonna screenshot this what I seen about the 11th house in Pisces. I just sent it all to you. So I just sat and tried to do a computer training, but there was nothing significant for me to learn. Is it because you feel like you know everything that they had to show you? Thank y'all for the likes too. All right. JD, I believe you're next. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on your questions. My bad, y'all. I was putting my little one down. All right. You don't know anything about their computer software? Oh, wow. So the computer software, is that kind of like where you have to log in and like see prescriptions of people and stuff? Like basically you need help with like navigating their software. All right, so let me look at your question, JD, that you had the first one. What says, let's see what's saying here. All right, so you didn't get correct hours. Is this going to be a problem or just due to training? All right, so with Deb not getting the correct hours, is this going to be a short-term problem just because it's training, or is she going to have to deal with issues with her schedule? They just got, you might have some issues with the schedule. I do see you having to kind of go back and like correct hours or ask for like, so let's just say, basically like you need, let's say they topping y'all off at like 37 hours a week or something like that. You may have to like kind of really let them know like you're full time and you need your extra day, or you may have to see if they'll let you work overtime if they're, you know what I'm saying, because I see it being possibly like issues when it comes from the management may have told you like something to get you in the door, but they may not really have the actual hours available, or they may be, you know what I'm saying, kind of dealing with, um I heard hiring too many people and not enough hours. It says it. Yeah. I would, if they shorten your hours, I would definitely let them know that this is contractual, that they said that they would give you 40 hours a week or whatever they said. But I see it being corruption with management. Like they don't have proper, basically you can kind of tell when management is all over the place, because then the job will be all over the place. With the Emperor card reverse, it just talks about poor management. So you definitely gonna have to be checking them on those hours. Okay. And like I said, it may be times where they can say, "Oh, you know, we kind of we gave out too many hours, so you know, we may have to call you and give you some overtime, or we'll see if somebody calls off." You know, that's just kind of what I'm seeing them say. You will leave, yeah. But I will say it's management. They in over their heads with this with CVS. But I've been seeing it. I like even my CVS out here where I live at. You could tell they stressed out. The pharmacists are stressed out because they're overwhelmed with orders of like prescriptions that got to be filled. Then you got to deal with customers who are angry because their insurance got cut off. So you dealing with getting yelled at on top of management not knowing what the heck they're doing. Um, this is a very stressful time. So, but yeah, I just like I said, the hours thing, I kind of see you having to stay on them about them hours. Yeah, definitely gonna have to stay on them about your hours. Okay. And then you can go ahead and post your next question when you're ready, JD. Mm. Hold on one second, you guys. She's getting cranky because she's in her bouncer. One second, y'all. Okay, I'm back, you guys. And JD, whenever you're ready, go ahead and post your next question, okay? Does anybody else have questions before I close this live? All right, you all, live will be closing in 5 minutes. JD, I know I still got your questions, of course, but is there anybody else that has questions before I close this live this evening? What else do I need to know? Because there is no sense of help either. What else does JD need to know? All right, I got you, JD. Hang tight real quick. All right, so you want to know what else do you need to know because there is no sense of help? What else does JD need to know because there is no sense of help with this video? Oops, it went mute. Sorry about that, JD. It went mute. But your first card is the Ace of Swords here. So I do feel like with you speaking up, it's not gonna be like they ignore you. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna tighten up. So if they see that you not the type of person that you got, you're not a pushover, and that you stand your ground with what's right, they are going to do what's right. So if you saying, hey, you guys need to give me my hours that y'all hired me for, I see them fixing it. you know? Or if you're like, hey, I missed my lunch. Can you hear me now? Sorry. Hold on. It's saying no value. I took it off mute. Can you hear me? Let me make sure you can hear me before I keep talking. Can you hear me? Okay. So I feel like stand your ground. That's the first thing to know about this. If you tell them like, hey, I missed my lunch. I need to take my lunch. You guys had me taking care of customers and I went over on my lunch. They're gonna have to let you take your lunch. So I think that with this type of job, they can't really do stuff under the radar like the other job could. CVS has a huge reputation. So I feel like that most of the time, even if it is like managers all over the place, they will try to accommodate you. Okay? They will try. Um, we also have the Passion Ignited card, which talks about the Ace of Cups. You may not like it right now, but I feel like that it is going to be some type of relief coming. I feel like they may end up going on another hiring. Like, what's the word I would say? Like they may go on another hiring, like what I want to say, like, when a job hires a lot of people, like I just see them doing that again. It may be like they do it quarterly. So let's just say these winter months been kind of rough. They may start hiring more people again in the spring. So I see them just kind of like continuously trying to improve, the job. And they care about y'all feedback and y'all experiences. So y'all may even have like surveys that y'all have to do on y'all supervisors, okay? Because they do care. CVS is a big company, and they don't want to kind of like fall in the cracks, and they're trying not to. They try not to fall in the cracks with the partnership and alliance card, which is the Six of Pentacles. So like I said, they trying to work with the upper management is trying to work with the facilities to try to see where they need to close the gaps for help, because they have had a lot of turnover when it comes to people working for their company. Hold on one second, y'all. She fussing. One moment. Yeah, I'm on real late. Hold on, Shakira. All right, I'm back, you guys. So yeah, like I said, they do care. They do care. And like I said, they already have had like a lot of turnover, and they're trying to stop people from leaving. So I feel like just hold tight, JD, because I do see help coming. And also, I do see you could potentially have a raise coming up too, which could be a quarterly thing. But I do see a raise coming or some type of promotion like down the line. So if you able to stick this out, you could have a promotion coming down the line in like the next, I would say 6 to 9 months. So it's just hard right now, but I do see them hiring more people. I'm seeing the spring, and I got 222 as the time too, so that's a sign right there. Um, so just stick it out a little bit, JD. Try your best to get through the hard part right now, but I will say they do care. The CVS do care about their employees, and they are trying to fix it and figure it out. Okay. Okay, Shakira, hold on 1 second. Let me see. Yeah, she's gassy. She got gas. It's okay. So yeah, that's what I got for you, JD. Um, and then Shakira, I'm probably gonna close the live after your question, but you could text me for the rest. I gotta come off of here because she's getting cranky. She's got gas. Okay. Okay. So is your man gonna see you reach out to me this weekend? All right. So is Shakira's man Cam going to see her reach out to her this weekend? All right. So I got a yes for y'all too. I do see some balance is gonna be restored to y'all connection very soon. So I would say he could definitely reach out within the next day or two, um, to kind of revisit the connection and try to like get this thing kind of going, in the right direction with y'all too. So I would say yes, because I have the world card and I have the temperance. So probably in the next 2 days, day or so. I'll say the day or so. You should be hearing something from him. Okay. You want to know if Dan is going to help you with the computer software next week? Okay, let me see. Will he see you? Okay. Will Dan help JD with the computer software next week? Let me see. Well, yeah, I mean, he got to, because I kind of see you not being able to move forward if you don't have help. Like you really are kind of stuck in a pickle. So I feel like yes, he will help. He's gonna have to help. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna help because I see you not being able to move forward without his help. Okay. So I got a yes for him. It is. I see that. Yeah, you literally can't do your job unless you know that system. So yes, I see him helping you. Okay. Is Cam going to see Shakira? Is Cam going to see Shakira this weekend? Is he going to see Shakira this weekend, Cam? Is Cam going to see Shakira this weekend? You got the Temperance. So I see a yes, but I feel like it may not be. I kind of see him coming to you, but he's kind of like a little bit. I ain't gonna say depressed, but he down and out. Remember when I told you that he was gonna be a little frustrated about this situation because he wasn't able to go out of town? You too. Thank you, JD. I kind of see him coming a little bit like disappointed, but not at you, just with the situation at hand. And that's probably why he been kind of avoidant. Okay, but I did get the Temperance again, so that's a yes. All right. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and come off of here because she is really fussy. I want to make sure she ain't gassy. Okay. Can I send one last time? Yeah, Danny, I can answer you real quick and then I gotta come off. Cause baby girl is not having it. It's okay. All right, let me burp her real quick, but go ahead. You can post your question when you're ready. Okay, Danny, thank you for your donation. I appreciate it. What does my grandma want me to do in regards to my grandpa? Okay, let me see. What does Danny's grandmother want her to do in regards to her grandfather? What does she want her to do? At the end of the day, your grandmother feels like that's a dead horse. Trying to tell him about himself is a dead horse. She tried to do it for many years. And I feel like you won't get any emotional fulfillment out of it because of how he thinks, how he feels. It's just best to just move forward. She says, stand in alliance with people who really was there for her. You know, he gonna have his day. But don't waste your energy, your effort, and your time on him. He know he wrong. He know what he doing is bogus. However, your grandmother doesn't want you to focus on negative things. She wants you to stay. She wants you to stay in a well state of mind, okay? And she wants the family to come together and celebrate her life. She feels like giving him any type of energy would defeat the purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, he's one of the type of people that he's very much so in his set in his ways. You can't tell him nothing. So like I said, she don't want you to focus your energy on being angry with your grandfather. Because like I said, he gonna have his day. She wants you to stand tall and stand proud of the fact that you guys did right by her. And also, this is a time for y'all to come together and celebrate her life. Okay? So, grandmother just wants you to just, you know what I'm saying? Let him think he doing something. She just wants you to stay focused on the good things, you know? Don't stir yourself up. Don't get yourself worked up into a tizzy over your grandfather. It's not worth it. Okay? Yeah, that's really what it's going to boil down to. Okay, Danny? All right. Well, Danny, like I said, my condolences to you and your family. I hope that you all are able to come together and lean on each other in this time. And if you need me tomorrow, I'll be on live later on tomorrow afternoon, okay? Or later on today. So if you need me, just let me know. All right? I know that Leo rising. Yeah. I understand. But all right, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and come off live. I hope you all get some rest, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye. Oh, yeah.